Hey guys, wow, the tech race today at the ISA SUP World Championships sure was nothing short of a big surprise. My predictions out the door, forget it. Good thing we didn't put real money on our bets because everything went different and very surprising from what I actually thought. And I'm not here to revamp the entire race and go through step by step. We're just looking at the results and some key moments. And as we all know, in a tech race, the start seemingly is the most important part of the race because getting to that first buoy is really important, which was in this case Christian Andersen. But Christian Andersen not ending up winning this race. In fact, the story was Rai Taguchi clawing his way to the front. He was not in the lead for the longest time, actually, only till like the last lap. So that was really cool to see how he came all the way from further back to the front. But another big surprise to me was like my money was on Michael Booth, Noik Gariou. Like, for example, I have no idea from my perspective here is whatever happened to Noik. He was strong in the qualification, he was strong in the semifinals, and the commentators in the entire 20 minutes did not mention his name once. Was he the one that fell in the first buoy turn? It was really hard to tell who was the one that fell off the starboard there, but even then we know Noik is a guy that could claw his way back from a fall at the first buoy. So nobody said anything. I don't know if he was tired, what happened, what was going on there, but seeing him finishing on second last is that is really, I don't understand that. I say same thing with Boothie coming in 12th, and the commentators again never said one single word about Booth except like, oh, he's coming here around the buoy, but I'm like, this guy needs to be on the top, so I don't know what happened there either. So almost bigger surprises to me that we didn't see our usual suspects on the very top. Same thing, by the way, kind of goes for Donato Friends. I was really preparing myself for a matchup there between Donato, Noik and Boothie. Aaron Sanchez, who is a very strong paddler, of course, no question asked, and Ricardo Rossi as well on the podium, but they're all strong paddlers, we know that, but not the ones we would think like they're gonna be on the top and the other guys are gonna be this far down, frankly. So to me, big surprise there. Also, of course, I keep wondering what would have been if Mr. Shrimpy would have been in the mix there. Would he have just smoked everybody, or would he have also had a crazy surprise? I don't know. I guess we'll never know. You guys can, of course, re-watch this whole thing on the live cast and look for yourself, but for me, that is the takeaway. And in the ladies' tech race, boy, am I glad I got my money on the right people. Just exactly what I kind of anticipated as far as the rematch goes. We had Espe, Una, and Mary Carmen booking the podium. That wasn't clear from the beginning, actually. Kind of Jessica Matos is almost a little bit the reverse Rai Taguchi. She was first to the buoy, looking very strong, and then sadly falling back into the 12th place. But once Duna caught up and leading the race pretty much from a very early stage on, and then after that it really became clear who are the strongest ladies, and you can see that clearly also in the podium times, with everybody within 3 and 6 seconds on the podium, and then really leaving that gap to Anna Gayomash, who entered the finish line with 30 seconds delay, followed by Melanie Lafenêtre with 34 seconds. So that leading pack of those three ladies was really and the longer the race went on, the more clear it became. They separated themselves, and really stoked to see for young Duna to beat Espe. That we don't see that too often, particularly this year. We haven't seen these ladies racing that much. Really cool to see, stoked for Duna. we can't wait, and I really hope also that we're maybe going to get a rematch in Sarasota at the ICF. So far, Esteban, last checked, has not signed up yet, but I hope that's going to change, because we like to see these people racing against one another as often as we can, because that's where the stories are, that's where the excitement is. So the ladies race, definitely no big surprises there. Maybe one thing to say is Seychelles was maybe a little bit further back than I would have thought. She had strong returns and strong results lately, and after her whole thing in Thailand, I thought, hey, this woman is good for a podium, but this is not over yet, because we have another World Championship coming in Sarasota. So I am really looking forward to have some rematches there, of course, as well. And on the junior girls side, actually lots of surprises there. A little bit of a dark horse moment with the win and the first gold medal for Hungary with Chisla Koskis. She is a strong paddler. We had an interview with her in the magazine online earlier this year, pushing very hard, this girl, and seeing her coming in with a lead of 17 seconds and a half actually over Alexia Soto, who was leading much of the race. Amazing. Third place with 37 behind was Sorin Presson, also a junior name that is very well known in the SUP world. The young girl from California, definitely a strong force. And then, of course, and that's the one part that it was a little bit, Cecilia Pompinella coming in with almost 50 seconds behind in fourth place. That is not the result she was looking for. We know Cecilia, a fierce competitor, very ambitious. So that must be a little bit of a tough one to swallow. Also, her last year as a junior. Really cool racing, these young girls, so that the future is bright. I hope the sponsors are watching and giving these young girls an opportunity to develop into young ladies and really pursuing their career. Last but not least, boys, a junior technical race. Congratulations to Team Japan with Kotaro winning this race. Pretty clear actually, with 20 seconds ahead of Luis Perotti with 19, almost 20 seconds. Third place, I'm pretty sure, a little bit disappointing with Mike Gariou, big name in the sport, so big expectations, 23 seconds behind. And then Bodie Van Elman actually behind Nicolo Ricco from Italy. But the story with Bodie is always that he is the guy that doesn't race junior races. He must have changed his mind this time, but he's coming behind over a minute, in fact a minute 19, and that must have been, I'm sure, a little bit disappointing, because I know Bodie, a very ambitious and very strong paddler too, actually. So overall, great technical race. In my opinion, personally, I still think 17 to 20 minutes for a tech race is still a little bit too long. I know they tightened the course and made it a little shorter, but still, to me, a tech race, I think 10 minutes would be enough, and more turns and more lead changes. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about that. And how I also feel is, like, for the ISA, keep Drew on the microphone, people, because he was commentating the juniors, and the energy that this guy is putting out is amazing. And then we had a big down tempo with the actual big races. So I think Drew really should be on the microphone at all times. He's been also commentating SUP races since the Battle of the Paddle days, more than 10 years ago. So this guy really knows what he's doing. So great broadcast, very interesting to watch from here, great results. And we're looking forward to some more action in the rest of the week.